Okay, we are live. Hey everybody, I'm Rachel Labus. I'm here in Fort Worth, Texas, and this is our third session of the day. This is a session that we have collaborated together with some people who want to recognize Autoimmune Awareness Month, which is an autoimmune disease. So we've come together to give some natural approaches to helping, I don't want to say necessarily cure, but to help alleviate a lot of the issues that are associated with autoimmune disorders. So the first person that I have coming up, and by the way, this is our third session, so this is our evening session. We have Mary Jonitis from Santa Fe, New Mexico, and she is here today to talk about what is autoimmune disease, what causes it in the body, what does it look like in the body, and also to talk about Sjogren's. So we have more information regarding that. So Mary, you're first up. Hey, Mary.
Thank you, Rachel. Good to be here with everyone. Welcome. And I'm just talking off the top of my head here. I've got lots of notes, but I'm just going to try to wing it, and hopefully we'll hit all the right marks. First of all, I just want to say I'm not a medical doctor. I don't have any licensed medical profession, but I am a medical intuitive, and I've been doing this work as medical intuitive for 43, almost 44 years. And I've been studying energy medicine, Asian medicines for that whole time. So I'm bringing that point of view. So autoimmune disorder, we'll start with that. What is it? We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, here's a statistic that's really shocking. There are over 50 million Americans who suffer with autoimmune disorders. It's a lot of people. That could be any one of 145 different autoimmune disorders that science has recognized, but basically a lot of them overlap. And what autoimmunity is when your body no longer can differentiate between the foreign invaders that it's meant to be getting rid of and your own healthy tissue. Why would that happen? All right, so Western medicine says it happens because of genetics, and then a big question mark. They don't really know. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but they don't really understand it. Different sorts of energy medicine say different things. Ayurveda says, it's very interesting, Ayurveda says it's anger that's unexpressed and it's attacking back into yourself. So again, that's a different point of view, but it bears some, in a sense, listening to. Now, Sjogren's syndrome is a particular form of autoimmune disorder where people have symptoms associated with, to begin with, there's two types, sort of level 1 and level 2. Level 1 is where your mucous membranes become very dried out. So your eyes, your mouth, your nasal passages, for women, their vaginal area, dry to the point of being very painful. And of course, you can imagine that if those mucous membranes are so dried out, they can't do the job of helping to clear the toxins from coming in, which is part of what they do, or keeping your eyes, in a sense, working well and so forth. So people who have Sjogren's suffer from a lot of really severe symptoms that other people don't necessarily notice. And that tends to be true for a lot of these autoimmune disorders. People suffer in silence with them because they're just not that obvious. So that's one thing to remember. The second form of Sjogren's is where you have all those mucous membrane issues of dryness and lack of elasticity. And then on top of that, you may have rheumatoid arthritis in your joints. You may have lupus, systemic lupus. So many of these autoimmune disorders can kind of compound and create a really horrible life experience. The thing is that before that happens, they often show up as subtle symptoms that we don't necessarily take notice of. And that's one of the things that maybe we're going to bring awareness to today, is that when we have reoccurring symptoms that are really bothersome, it's a good idea to understand that this may be caused by chronic inflammation, which is caused by oxidative stress, which is caused by toxicity. Toxicity can come from outside through chemicals in the air, in the water, in our food. It can also come from inside, from our stress levels. When we get over anxious about something, our adrenals exude a tremendous amount of cortisol. That can be too much for the body to handle, and that becomes like a toxin. And so our own stress levels can cause oxidative stress. Oxidative stress means the normal oxidation process, which is good, that goes on in the body, becomes overwhelmed by too many free radicals. And there aren't enough antioxidants coming in through the diet to combat the oxidative stress. So it builds up into chronic inflammation. So again, toxins equal chronic inflammation equal autoimmune, in that order. So if we can bring, through diet, through stress reduction techniques, through supplements, if we can bring more antioxidant effect into the body, if we can begin to calm the body, then we can begin to get the body to change from being chronically inflamed to being, in a sense, able to care for itself, able to not turn against itself, not start eating away at the healthy tissue. So one of the things I want to talk about here before I forget is I want to give you some referrals, because if you know anyone with autoimmune disorder, I hope that you will recommend these books, because these books are amazing, especially this one, Solving the Autoimmune Puzzle by Dr. Keisha Ewers. In her 30s, I think maybe some 20 years ago, she, after her fourth child was born, and often autoimmune symptoms show up very quickly after a major stress, and childbirth is a major stress. And so she developed rheumatoid arthritis sort of overnight, and very painful. But using what she teaches you in this book and taking you through the inner work of looking at how our mindset and our attitude, as well as our diet, as well as other aspects of our lifestyle, really come together in a perfect storm in a negative way to create an autoimmune situation. So please share this with anyone who's got that kind of issue, autoimmunity, because it's really fabulous and it could really help heal them. The other book I want to recommend is called Quench. And this is by Dana Cohen and Gina Bria. This is a new book that's out in the last few months. And this is really talking about something that we don't often think about when we think about trying to reverse autoimmunity, except there's a story in here about a woman who has Sjogren's disease. And by using more of the fourth phase of water, what's the fourth phase of water, you might say? Well, we know there's water's a liquid, right? Water can be a gas, a steam. Water can be a solid, as in ice, but water can also be a gel. Water as gel is the water that's in vegetables and fruits, as well as our own cells. And when we eat fruits and vegetables, as well as drink good structured water, the woman in here who had Sjogren's began to lose her severe symptoms of Sjogren's in a very short amount of time using the information in this book. So again, very, very useful, very simple approach. The important thing when we work with healing ourselves through natural means is we need to have patience and compassion with ourselves. We need to go slowly, and we need to be consistent. So one of the ways that we can take care of ourselves, or what's commonly being referred to now as self-care, is not only, of course, having a good diet, but also using supplements that can help what we can't achieve in our diet. I just want to read through real quickly. How am I doing on time? I'll be quick. I've found this in the Dr. Ewer's book. She has a number of steps to, she calls health building food plan. Doesn't call it a diet. But she says that when you are fighting autoimmune disease, you need to eat, this is a lot, but this is what she says, 10 to 12 cups of fresh, organic, seasonal vegetables in a rainbow of colors every day. That's a lot of vegetables. I don't think I could eat that many vegetables. She wants you to decrease your grains and replace them with vegetable sources of carbohydrates like sweet potatoes. She wants you to replace unhealthy fats with healthy ones. So healthy fats look like coconut oil and organic ghee and organic butter and avocado oil and good quality organic olive oil. She wants you to eliminate sugar and gluten and soy and dairy and GMO substances. That's genetically modified foods. So if you buy organic foods, you don't have to worry. They should be non-GMO. She wants you to avoid stimulants and chemicals. She wants you to learn to eat for your body type, which would be meaning that you learn a little bit maybe about the Ayurvedic point of view, the different constitutions. Learning to eat that way helps to keep us in balance. And she also wants us, like I said, to cultivate a healthy attitude, both towards food and towards our bodies. Towards our bodies, it's compassion and it's a sense of gratitude. When we have gratitude for our food, really deep in our hearts, and we have gratitude for our amazing miracles of what our bodies are, we are in the right mindset and the right attitude and the right emotional, spiritual space to heal. So find gratitude in your heart every day. And if you can't eat the 10 to 12 cups of fruits and vegetables to combat the oxidative stress, find a good supplement. I think that's what we're going to hear about next. Rachel, I'll hand it back to you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Mary. You've actually taken something that's somewhat complicated understanding, you simply stated it. And one thing that triggered with me that you said, it was really powerful. When I don't eat healthy, I don't have the same gratitude. It's something about eating a good salad, or it just makes me feel better. I mean, my attitude toward my food is different, right? Like I feel guilty or ashamed when I eat, you know, that big old slice of chocolate cake that's not gluten-free. So thank you, Mary. I really appreciate that. And I do like what she states. It's called a health building food plan and not a diet, right? It's something that we need to have patience with ourselves to build. It's a plan, right? So that was a perfect explanation of how this disorder works in the body, what the body's actually doing when it's breaking down. So, but she stated at the end that, you know, unless you're like eating 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, we probably need to supplement, right? So my next person, Junko, who's out of San Diego. Hey, Junko, she is here to talk a little bit about something you may not be familiar with, but it's called mirtogenol. So, hey, Junko, you want to enlighten us?
Hi, Rachel. Thank you for having me today. Can you hear me?
Okay. Being here.
All
Yes.
right. Hi. I'd like to talk about mirtogenol. I learned so much from Mary, but I'd like to share some about mirtogenol. Mirtogenol consists of two quality ingredients, pycnogenol and miltoselect, both of which individually have a long track record for improving eye health, but also helps with autoimmune diseases as well. Pycnogenol is an extract from the bark of the French maritime pine tree, which is a unique pine that grows only in southwestern France. The essential property of pycnogenol is its powerful antioxidative effect. which is reported to be 170 times more powerful than vitamin E and 340 times more powerful than vitamin C. It has other effects, including an anti-inflammatory effect, promoting healthy function of blood vessels and enhance the blood flow, as well as promoting the production of collagen and hyaluronic acid in the skin. The increase in blood flow and collagen production helps in installing the skin. And the other ingredient is Select. It is an extract from the bilberry plant, which is the wild bilberry fruit from Northern Europe. Compared to blueberries, it contains about 4 times as much anthocyanin, which is the powerful antioxidant, which supports eye health tremendously. And what does mitogenol benefits your health is it has a wide range of benefits. However, today we are focusing on how mitogenol helps in eliminating autoimmune diseases like dry eye, and helps to improve blood circulation, to alleviate hypertension and heart diseases. It has also shown significant alleviation of the symptoms of allergy, asthma, and osteoarthritis. And Rachel, I know it benefits me too, because I've been dealing with Hashimoto disease since I was 17. It is the condition in which your immune system attacks your thyroid, and it's also known as one of the autoimmune diseases. I've always been on my medication, but I've still had some issues. Like I had an irregular menstrual cycle. I got physically exhausted easily. However, since I start taking supplements that have a combination of carotenoids and mitogenol, and it's been helping a lot. There are many other benefits to including mitogenol into your diet. But for now, it's back to you, Rachel.
Thank you. I had some technical
Thank
issues.
you.
I apologize. I disappeared for a minute. So I'm sorry, I had technical issues. So did you explain and talk about some of the benefits that you received? I'm not sure if you said that.
Oh, you mean for my Hashimoto disease?
Yes.
From mitogenol?
Yes.
Yes, I had a, I had a really irregular menstrual cycle, and physically exhausted always. And sometimes I was shaking in the bathtub when I wasn't taking a bath. So it got much, much better. And I'm so energetic. It's wonderful. I love mitogenol.
You're exuding a lot of energy now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can see it, right?
Yes. So thank you. And
thank you so much.
Explaining that, and as well, I can also say that I've benefited from it as well, in some of the similar areas, especially with my menstrual cycle. So that's just a personal, maybe too much information. But anyway, thank you so much, Junko. You did wonderful. So the cream of the crop, the icing on the cake, we're going to close. It's the evening session now. So we have Cayenne from Houston, who has been showing us morning, afternoon, and evening exercises and meal planning that can benefit different autoimmune disorders. Hey, Cayenne.
Hi. Hello, good evening, everyone. And we have another friend here tonight with us. So hope everyone enjoyed the first 2 sessions if you have been there already. And this is our 3rd session. So of course, we are also going to go over 3 simple stretches with all of you. This morning, we actually began it with our feet pointing our toes and flexing our toes. And again, we are going to move it back to our bed, or you can do it on the floor. So we can, actually, we're actually going, this is what we did this morning, just to show everyone. Pointing and flexing. And then now in the evening time, you can kneel down. And then if it hurts your knees, make sure you have really good padding. And then what you want to do is curl your toes under, okay? And then sit on it. Just like that, sit on it. And if it's too intense, you can kind of, you know, put your hands down to kind of hold the weight. And if you can take it more, you can sit on your heels. And what it does right now is really stretching the bottom of your feet and your toes. What it is good for is actually really good for your blood circulation. And then the second one is child pose. So would you like to do it with me? Well, not like this. This is what you want to do, child pose. And then just make sure to, because it's the evening time, so you want to do it slowly, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. What is good for is really, really good for your lower back and your spine. And so that's the second one. And last but not least is my favorite one, is called Savasana, which is just laying down. So you want to lay down completely and just relax and let your feet fall to the side. Now I will give you an alternative. So this is for people who are working in retail or restaurants, someone that is on their feet a lot, like, you know, all day long. Basically what you want to do is you want to do the same thing, but up against the wall. So I will just pretend there's a wall, okay? And just have your legs up. And basically this whole thing is against the wall. And just let your blood goes around. And it's really, really soothing. And it's restorative position, okay? Now, after simple stretches for the evening time, I also want to show you some simple recipe for, sorry about that, simple recipe for the evening time. So the first one is curry pineapple. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes, okay. So curry pineapple fried rice. So of course what you need is pineapple. You just chop it up, dice it, and then red bell pepper, also dice it. Green onion. We already have 3 colors, Mary. So we have red, green, and yellow. So just chop that up, stir. And then we will add we will have 2 eggs and then some rice into it. Now the trick is when you make fried rice. And the cashew. And the cashew, yes. Of course, we cannot forget about cashew. We just made it tonight and he helped. So yes, don't forget about the cashew. And then what was I saying? The trick of making fried rice is the rice is better if we use leftover rice from the night before, especially. So when we stir fry it, the rice will not become mushy. So then that's how you get the rice in pieces still, right? So that's a little tip. And then for seasoning, you can add a little bit of turmeric or curry powder, which is really, turmeric is really, really good for, yes, just like this. This is the fried rice we made. Yes, thank you, Yanis. And then you can, at the end, you can squeeze a little bit of lime to it at the end. And then for the side dish, we will have tofu. You just slice it and then you want to pan fry it, you know, so it's crispy outside and it's still soft inside. And then the sauce that I like to make is just a little bit of soy sauce, sesame oil, and chop up some garlic and throw it there and dip it with the tofu. Is really, really good. And the garlic. Thank you so much. And then what am I forgetting? Oh, yes. And of course, we want to remember to talk about a smoothie, right? So in the morning, we had a beet, carrot, celery juice. And then in the afternoon, we had a mango, avocado, kale smoothie. And then this evening time, what we have is actually an apple. So cut up an apple and then grab a handful of spinach or kale, any vegetable, any greens that of your choice. And then add some nut butter, a little bit of ginger, and then non-dairy milk. And then just blend it together. You are good to go. So I hope all of you enjoy the recipes, and then we will be including the links. I did not come up with these recipes. I can't take credit for it. So I will include the links for it. It's from Cookie and Kate. So I hope you guys have a good evening.
Perfect. Thank
you.
you, Karen. Janice, thank you. You did amazing.
Thank you.
Helping your mommy. Thank you so much, Cayenne. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here in Zoom and out in Facebook world. Please forward the links to your page so that everyone can get a chance to be educated on some alternative natural ways to help with your autoimmune disorders. So we will be doing this again next week. Yeah, I think it's a great thing, and we're gonna keep learning more about different ways that metogenol and therapeutic hydrogen water can help. So anyway, thank you guys. See you later. Have a great night.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Kayane, I loved Yanis' participation. That was great.
Oh, yes. As soon as we said it's over, then now he left. So clearly he wants to participate.
That's great. Everybody was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think we are still live.
I can't stop it. I don't. So theater crashed and I had to come back in. Now I can't stop it.
Any questions?
Oh, I can't stop it because I made you host, Shizuko.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, I will make you. Okay, wait. Make a host. Okay, here you go.
Okay.